Hello and welcome to my crafting vlog. Today I'm going to show you all of my various and sundry works in progress from a bunch of different kinds of crafts. That's what we're doing. So first up, I finished stitching. Let's see if I can get you in here nice looking. The Spring Biscornu. It was a stitch along from Stitchonomy. And it looks really nice. So y'all, this was a medium level stitch, I guess. There's a lot of block stitching, but there is also a lot of just little scattered stitches. There's back stitching, and the animals actually, a lot of the things were not outlined. I'll put a little video I made. You can see that they're kind of blobbish. And like, for instance, the squirrels in particular, I couldn't tell what they were. So someone in the Facebook group had outlined their stuff, and I decided to do that as well. And I really like how they came out. I think you can really, let me try to zoom you in. Let's get you in nice. See, you can tell what everything is with the outlines. Oh, so one of the things about this design here, this has so many French knots. I was very close to using beads instead of making French knots. But I decided to go ahead and do it. So I got very good at making the French knots. They're all around this border, French knots. All of the little flower sections have French knots. Little flowers in the corners of this one, French knots. There's French knots all around on this. These flowers here have French knots. There's some on, where did they go? The ladybugs. Ladybugs have French knots. So many French knots. So I got quite good at them. Keep your eyes open for a French knot how-to and troubleshooting. So next up, I need to cut these out and then sew them together into the thing, stuff it. There's a little bead to put in the middle to hold the, cinch it together. So hopefully next time I'll have that made. We'll see what happens. So continuing in the cross stitch department. Oh, here we are. I purchased some fabrics. So this is, hold on, Masquerade Lugana. I bought it at 123 Stitch. I don't know. Anyways, you see how pretty it is. And I have plans. I have plans for this. Oh, here, I'll just put up a picture to make it's like the seasons of the year thing, but it looks like a gate into a garden. And so I wanted my fabric to look like a garden, and I thought this was quite lovely. So I'll try to position it in such a way that the arch is over some of the purple splotches, so that it looks like flowers through the arch. I'm not sure about the measurements. I'll look at it. You'll see. It'll be lovely. And then I also purchased let's see, Belfast linen quartz. Colors quartz. And on this, I intend to stitch Woodland Fox from Catkin and Lily. It's gonna be so cute. So this is for my second baby. He loves pink. and my animal that I associate with him is a fox. So I'm going to stitch him a little fox on this pretty pink fabric. It's going to be lovely. Okay, let's see what's next. Okay. So having finished the stitching on the spring biscornu, I wanted to get something set up to stitch. I chose to start the Night Euphoria from Abra's Art. Okay. This is stitched on black Aida, which I decided that I definitely needed grid lines for, because oh boy, is this a complex pattern. And it's everything's separated into little clusters, so it's not like with a full coverage where you can just stitch along and keep connecting things. But it's also not like with the Arc of Triumph, it didn't matter if stuff was a couple stitches off, but I think with this it will look bad if I have elements that far off. So I wanted to grid. So I sat down to start gridding, and all I got were these done, because black fabric, it turns out, is very difficult to stitch on. And people have said that, and I was like, I don't get it. You can't see the holes. The holes are invisible. I was doing all this wonky stuff to make sure that it didn't fold on itself, you know, so that I could see where the holes were. And I have decided what I'm going to try is to put a light underneath it. Hopefully that will solve my problems. I'm not sure, but so we're working on it. It's fine. I also purchased one of these doohickeys called a Paco, and it allowed me to put the symbols on there. Wait, which way did I do this? Yeah, that's right. That's up. So it's got the symbols, and then I wrote the numbers with the red pen. They're not as visible, but they're there if I need them. And this pattern has blended threads. So all of these along here, these are the blended. And this just sounded like it would be easier to use for all of this complex stuff going on. So I set up this Paco organizer to make stitching hopefully easier. Also, I can have more than one needle going with appropriate thread colors. The pattern seems to come in, what do you call it? Like groupings. So like any given spot only has so many colors. So I can just like focus on that rose and do all of that, or focus on these leaves and do all of them or something, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Oh, my other issue with this is that it's so big. Nothing I've stitched so far has had such a large piece of fabric, and it's a little bit clumsy to work with. I haven't decided what to do about that. I might use a frame. I don't know yet. We'll see. It doesn't fit. I do have a scroll frame, but it doesn't fit, so I don't know. That's Night Euphoria. I'm very excited to stitch it. It's going to be gorgeous. And then, because I got frustrated with Night Euphoria, I decided I would start on the next French scene, Montmartre, Paris. So I took it out and I started stitching. I have a mess going. I I started stitching. I decided to start in the bottom left corner, no, the bottom right corner, and to try parking. It's not going super great so far. I think I'm going to take it all out and draw grid lines. I found my fabric pins, the Madame Sew, I think they're heat erasable fabric pins. So I think I'm going to draw a grid on here, and I'm not sure what else, but it's the pattern isn't quite full coverage, so there's not, that bottom corner isn't solid. You'll see here, you see how it's kind of like fluttery, and there's all these little random lines. They're half stitches, not full cross, which doesn't matter a huge amount, but yeah, I was finding that awkward to stitch. But I started it, so there you have it. It's a work in progress. I'm going to show you my beadwork now. So this is a bracelet. The beading is done, and I need to add some kind of clasp or closure so that it could actually be a bracelet. But I like how it came out. I had never done peyote stitch before. So the pattern called for delicas size 11-0. I bought size 8-0, which are larger, so that it would be easier and I could be more successful. And it worked. It went really well. I was worried I wouldn't have enough beads. I bought small containers of them, but there were plenty. I didn't need to make as many flags as I would have with the 11-0s for it to fit around my wrist. So that's where we're at with that. I'm very pleased. Oh, another project in the works is this bracelet that so far I have stranded some beads for. And the design is like this. So you see it's a woven thing, except this middle part isn't woven. You just have beads along the, I forget whether they're warp or weft, whatever, along the threads on the loom, and then you weave along the sides to hold them in. I think it's gonna be real pretty, but I haven't worked on it in a long time, so I need to get cracking on that. Another work in progress I have, which I have had for 5, 6, something here, probably 5 years, is this. I'm very proud of this. So the main beading is completed, and what I need to do now is put on a backing and do the edging to seal it off, and then I will have this gorgeous thing. So this is not something I designed myself. My cousin made this image for me, and then I decided I wanted to bead it. So it's going along. It's the logo for my business. I thought I would make things and sell them. It didn't, I don't know. It's harder than it sounds, but all the same. This is not expert work by any stretch of the imagination, but it's quite lovely. I like how it came out, so that's that. And then my other work in progress for beads, last but not least, is this. This right here. And you can see it's wrapped around up here. And my thought with this was to turn it into a sort of little purse, or maybe a cell phone holder, where you have this on both sides, and then a flap that comes and meets up here with some kind of button. But I have not worked on this in also like 5-6 years. So I loosened it a little bit. It's wobbly because I purposely loosened it so that hopefully it wouldn't be getting messed up here in the top. I'm not an expert, okay? I just kind of started doing stuff. It's a little bit random, but I think it's lovely. This is the pattern that came with the doohickey, with the loom. So it was just something to start with. I have one more. This, okay. This is almost done. I just need to like glue and cut all these extra random little hanging things. But otherwise it's ready to go. It's just a wrap bracelet. Does it fit me? Doesn't fit. See, this is the problem. It doesn't fit me. So I was hoping it would fit my sister. And she could wear it. But anyways, so I have to fix that up eventually. Okay, back to beading. Well, anyways, so now things that I've completed beading, things that are finished. I made this because I go to a little bead group once a month and we make random stuff. So this is like, I don't know, country western necklace. And I just put these little beads on there. This cute little trinket, I don't know. The back is kind of a star. They're designed to be earrings, but I don't wear earrings, so I don't know, it was just to make something, it was just to participate. Made a Christmas tree. Oops, I dropped it. Let's try again. There we go. What's going on? It's got a thread, huh? Here, look at it this way. There we go. Okay. It came out all right. It's kind of a Charlie Brown looking Christmas tree. A little bit sad. I did something wrong with the stitches. This was supposed to be brick stitch and my beads were lining up with each other instead of being staggered, so I have no idea what I did wrong. These 4 earring pairs were one session. There we go. Look at these. They're so pretty. One of the women brought in like stuff from her own stash and had all these creative ideas about how to put them together. I think that was my favorite. It's my favorite one so far. Favorite class we've done. I made these. I love these. Okay. How cute are those? Absolutely adore these. Anyways, so I intend to give these to my sister. I need to mail them. She wears jewelry, so I think she'll like it. That's all of my completed beadwork. Okay. That's it for beading. Okay. All right. So next, let's look at my tatting work. I haven't gone through this in a while. So this is complete. It's, well, sort of. I'm not working on it, and I won't fool with it anymore, but it's just a flower. Came out all right. And then I did, this is a similar, like it's the same pattern, but I joined the petals to the next one over instead of the one right next to it. I did that all the way around. So there's like an inner and an outer, and they bunched up like this, which I thought was really cute. I want to make it with blue. I think it'll look like a bluebell. And then the inside beading would be different, but I think they came out okay. I made a bunch of little butterflies. With different color beads. These were just, I don't know, it's just practice. It's just try out what you do. Get decent at the work. Oh, and then here's a little bow. Cute little bow. Put that closer. There you go. Anyways. And then here's another flower. Different thread. A little bit smaller than the white one. I made this pair of earrings, but I messed up, and this one has a jump ring and this one does not. So, but I've learned that you can take this off. I need to take it to my bead group because those ladies will know. They'll know how to take this goofy thing apart and fix it with a jump ring. And then my earrings could be good to go. Here's an unfinished flower. A smaller butterfly. Another butterfly. See, a tiny flower. Oh yeah, this is from the tutorials I made. I made this pair of, I guess, earrings. I'm not sure. I didn't like using this thread. The metal filament breaks too easily. It makes a mess, so I won't be using that for tatting. Just never mind with that. Here's a couple of more finished, I don't know, I guess they could be pendants or earrings. To me, these are really big for earrings. I don't know. Have this thing. This is a pattern from New Bear. I just did it as a practice. All right, and then here's a pair of earrings I made. Here we go. They're quite pretty. This was from, I think this was Leona's Handmade. She has a YouTube channel. And then I have the pieces to make the bracelet to go with that. Like it's the same medallion, and then you just connect them together with leaves. Which I need to finish. With a little butterfly. Another flower. Oh, and then these were letters. So eventually what I would like is to have my business name to go with my medallion. So I would make like tatted letters. You get the idea. These are the only two I like so far. So this was sort of the original impetus for trying to learn how to tat. This is a Christmas ornament, which I have a stack of. And I always loved these growing up. And I got a bee in my bonnet that I wanted to make more. Well, because, you know, with inheritance, you spread them out among the family members. And all of a sudden, there's just not so many. But I've got to tell you, I don't know how my great-grandmother tatted this using this thread that has metal filament. I find this stuff impossible to work with. I don't know if maybe in whatever decade she stitched these, the metal filament was not so fine, and so it didn't break as easily. It's hard to say, but I have not found a satisfactory way, a satisfactory thread to make these. I finally know how to make them. Like I understand how to go about making these now, but I don't know what thread to use. So eventually. Okay, moving on. Next up, crochet. Working on Disney princesses. Currently stitching Cinderella. So far I have the head, the body, the arm, and the other arm. And the skirt is in progress. So I'm actually almost done because I think that's the last piece. So once I have that stitched and filled, then I can sew everybody together and voila, have a Cinderella. Crochet frustrates me. I really like doing it, but it hurts my hand sort of inevitably. So I don't know. What are you gonna do? All right, last but not least, my applique project. So I bought this from Applique, which is, you guys, these ladies. So this is a company in Spain, and apparently patchwork is popular over there. And anyways, they're adorable. If you want to be entertained, watch the Applique ladies. Also, Almudena does patchwork. She's from Spain. She has lovely stuff. She's how I found out about them. You know, it's fun to watch someone from another culture engage with something that's sort of central to your own culture. They always have a slightly different view. Oops, sorry. They always have a slightly different view of what's going on, why you do stuff and whatnot. So, okay, so I'm gonna make this flower on, here we go. Here, so I have this strawberry shortcake fabric from my childhood. My grandmother made me a dress out of this or something. So I'll be putting the flowers on there with this, also a remnant from my childhood. It's got roses. I don't know whether you can see that they're, oh yeah. Can you see the roses and how they reflect? They're so pretty. So I'm making the flowers in such a way as that, hold on, did it work? I forget. It seems like I was trying to make it so that strawberry shortcake was holding it, but I'm not sure what's going on now. It was too long. It's been too long. This is something I started when it would have been 3 years ago. And then I moved. Moving kind of kills everything, so whatever. But I have it out now, so I will continue with the process. I'll keep you updated. Okay. All right, so that's all of my various and sundry things in assorted states of finished. And I don't know when or what I'm gonna work on. I have been spending a lot more time on cross stitch because it's easy to sit on the sofa. It doesn't hurt my hand. If the child's bouncing next to me, it doesn't affect my work as much as, say, like with beads, where the beads would go everywhere. So that's a lot of what I have been doing. But I do work on the other things here and there. So, yep. My thought, I'm gonna put effort in, you guys. I'm gonna put in effort to doing a weekly video. I want to get good at making videos, so I need to dedicate to making a video every week. Will they always be, what have I done? I don't think so. My next, maybe not my next video, but something that I want to do very soon is a French knot tutorial / troubleshooting video, because I made so many of them. I got very good. By the time I was done with that, my knots, they all looked really good. They were coming out nice and even. They were not, I was not having as many problems, and when I did have problems, I knew how to solve them. We're gonna get you going on French knots too, make you an expert. Okay. Anyways, that's it. Hope you're having a happy summer. Hope you're staying cool. If you're in the northern hemisphere, if you're in the southern hemisphere, I don't know, enjoy the winter. I live in Houston, so I'm like, it's a little too hot right now. I'd rather be somewhere else. But the other, 9 months of the year, it's pretty nice, so it's fine. Anywho, yeah, so see you next time.